What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about an interesting little leak rumor, if you even, I guess, qualify it as that happened yesterday right after the Square Enix stuff was going on. So what we had yesterday, right, Embracer Group buying 3 Western studios of Square Enix, right, and kind of Square Enix shedding that off of them, saying, hey, look, these are people we don't, and again, some of this is rumor, some of this is maybe just, how you can, I guess, perceive it from the outside. We don't necessarily have faith in Crystal Dynamics. We don't care. They don't make enough money for them to be worth anything to us. All of that stuff, right? And that ultimately most likely led to them getting rid of those 3 studios. Now, what does that mean? Could that lead to anything in the future? Well, according to Jeff Grubb, and again, you got to play some, games here in terms of wording, it seems to be. So Jeff Grubb tweeted out how he believes Square Enix is now, it's streamlined. Again, which basically means, and we all know this, right? They have Life is Strange, they have Outriders, they have a couple other things, but then they're primarily not over here. Here is in like the US, Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, that's where these people lie. And that's fine. That's the path that they've chosen, but that's what they are. Now, somebody responded to Jeff Grubb and basically said, do you think this was almost a strategic move, because it wasn't really one succinct family, right? Square Enix was kind of all over the place because of this, but now most of that shedding is gone. Again, they have like Life is Strange and stuff, which doesn't really fit anymore with their other stuff, but most of it, because of these 3 studios, is gone. So does that make it more likely that they could be sold? And Jeff Grubb responded with, maybe I already said too much. So does that mean Square Enix could be sold? I think the answer is very heavily yes. I also would go back, and by the way, I'm not petitioning for Sony to buy them, but I will go back to all the stuff we've heard before. Many rumors from many different people that Sony's next buy would be a Japanese company. Okay, that's number one. Which, yeah, that doesn't mean Square Enix. It could mean Capcom. It could mean a lot of, So you have that. Then you also have that when Kojima was brought up, okay, was Sony going to buy Kojima? Actually, Jeff Grubb, I think, specifically said Kojima's too small. He's talking about this big, what him and Greg Miller were going on in terms of this huge sale is bigger than Kojima. So, all right, so now you have not a company over here. You have, you have a Japanese-centric company. Again, now who they would sell to would probably be Sony. We've heard from other industry insiders that, yeah, that kind of culture, while it may sound silly, that culture is real, and that culture stops them more so from selling to like a Microsoft and would probably help a Sony thing. So combine all of that, Square Enix, big, would make sense from a Sony, to get these to get a Final Fantasy name, to get a Kingdom Hearts name. Now, you could have said to get Tomb Raider, to get all that kind of stuff. You could settle for Life is Strange. You could sell, you could have those other franchises. You get those studios, you get those games. Who does that sound good for? Realistically, everyone. Okay, Microsoft or Sony. But then combine everything we've already heard. So I want to make it clear. I really want Square Enix to remain independent. I've been saying that for years. Square Enix, EA, Capcom, Sega, I don't want them to be sold. I think the Embracer Group buying the 3 studios, I think that is the best case scenario, considering Square Enix didn't want them anymore. I still want those games, or games that they could make. Embracer Group is a pretty friendly third-party studio. They don't do anything crazy. They're not going to limit different things to different systems, make them exclusive to a system. They're pretty good. So all things considered, that was a pretty okay deal. Buying Square Enix, that's different. Buying the entirety of what's left of Square Enix is different. So I don't really prefer anybody to buy them, but combining, what else are you supposed to do, I guess is what I'm saying, in this situation. We have people that say maybe Square Enix is for sale now, or maybe it was. You have the rumors dating just a few months ago that, a big studio like a Square Enix could be sold. Sony's obviously been attached to it. So and now they're streamlined. Now they kind of look more attractive, because it's like, well, did somebody want Square Enix and maybe they didn't want those ones? So maybe they said, you know what, we want kind of the Japanese branch of Square Enix. Give us Final Fantasy, give us Kingdom Hearts, give us the rest, and then you can kind of leave the rest. And Square Enix is like, well, we can make that happen. Give us a few months. I don't know. I don't know the definitive answer, but it does make sense. I don't think it's grasping at straws or anything from an outside perspective. So we'll see. Again, anybody that gets them now, You get Final Fantasy. I never. And by the way, I'm listing the ones that are like the biggest names that I also am the most connected to. So it is a biasness to my interest. Kingdom Hearts is one of my favorite franchises. The first Life is Strange game is actually one of my favorite games of all time. So you get Square Enix now, you're gonna get a pretty fair amount. And if you consider them baggage, Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal, if you do that, you don't get them anymore, right? They're gone, so you don't even have to worry about them. So we'll see. We'll see. If this is the next big one, like what's been talked about, I don't think it would take that long. Now, maybe it was Sega that the rumor was talking about, right? We don't technically know, but maybe we'll find out over the next couple months. I'd imagine. I mean, this year has not slowed down when it's come to buying people or buying companies, publishers, developers. So we'll see if the rest of the year continues it. So let me know what you guys think. Who would buy them? Who do you, in your opinion, who would you want to buy them? Who do you think is gonna buy them? Let me know. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on so you guys know when all these videos go up. If you want to follow me anywhere else, all my social media is in the description below. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you guys on the next video.